Welcome to Factorio Launch Recap. My name is Nilaus, and this is the 13th installment of our weekly recap of the Twitch streams. They are happening over on my Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/Nilaus, and it's usually on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. So, as you can see, well, if you haven't followed along, then that's our series is running until I have launched a certain number of rockets, determined by the generosity of people in chat. So, we are closing in. I am launching about 500 rockets every stream, and naturally this is not going up by 500, so we are closing in on the end, and that's really where we are right now. And yeah, so let's start by looking at the science at this point here. So what we are looking at is we have a peak at around 2.5 in this case, and the reason is, if you look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are my science facilities. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 15, right? So I have 15, so theoretically we should have, also on this side I also have 15, so theoretically we should have 3,000 science maximum. But you can see, where are the trains? Here's still supply. This one is running out, but still working. In order for us to maintain 3,000 supplies, 3,000 science per minute, I need all of these to be constantly moving. And you can see this list of things that are alerted is growing. The reason why it's growing is twofold. First of all, I've been very busy up to this point on adding new facilities so that at least we have all the facilities enabled. But the other part is, as we've added more facilities, I think I can figure out how many trains I have if I just go through this. I'm pretty sure there's one. That was not it. I just killed all the biters. Ha! I know there's one in my list of things here. Trains, get trains. 259 trains in the base. So that's a lot of trains, and they're all mainly going through here. So you can see this is the issue. So we have definitely some work cut out for us to alleviate the train congestion. This will be done in two different ways. One is I'm going to add some better intersections created by Russ Partisan and test it, and we're going to add those. The other one is trying to make sure that iron from down here, for example 11, 12, and 13, and 14, well, 11, 12, and 13 are up here. So basically what at this point we're taking trains from there, going all the way through the most congested area of the base, through some inefficient intersections to get up here. That's got to be done in a better way. Also, we can see we're running at 0.9 speed because we simply cannot keep up on the server. If I'm running this locally, I can keep up at 60, but not on the server version, unfortunately. And that's not because the server is not fast enough. This server is fast enough, but Factorio just doesn't perform so well when it's running on a server. So run it on locally if you can. So that's where we are. We need to. So basically, at this point, we sort of reached up towards the 3K science, but we're not there because we cannot sustain it. We're also running out of materials in many locations. So many of these locations out here, they are, well, lackluster at best. You can see this one and this one. They're definitely not able to keep up. So that's going to be a majority part of the next episodes. Will be fixing the iron, or fixing the ore inbound because we've been ignoring it, fixing train congestion, and making more clever reallocation, and of course also expanding our science. So let's jump forward in time. Also keep an eye on the number of rockets still to launch. And here we are. Now we've stepped forward. We're about 160 hours into the space. Let's start by one of the things that is most dominant here, and that's the overlay. This one, we have 372,000 here. And you can see at this point, we are simply really in trouble when it comes to updates. And if I look at the updates, actually one of the things I know is that I am pretty sure. Oh, yeah, okay, that goes up. Game update 14. Do I have the Pathfinder? Pathfinder, not much. So we still have the biters. They still have biters coming in, but this is where, as soon as the biters are actually starting to really demand a lot of calculations. Every time you attack something, every time they spawn something, then it starts dragging it down. You can see we cannot even keep up on the 0.9 speed anymore, and that's also by the bases getting bigger. Do we have a train overlay? Train's still good. That's still not it. Now I just killed the biters again. Get trains. 271. Okay, so now we've actually added all the trains. So in the previous one we did not have all the trains. Now we have all the trains. I thought it had to be like 270 or something to that effect. And at this point this is the last episode of the stream where I have biters enabled, because biters are just consuming a lot. Right now when we just kill the biters, we just instantly shot up to our better speed. And if I think that even on the local one I can probably run it at 1.0. Can I? Yes, I can. I can run it at full normal speed at this point. So what we're seeing here is we still have issues, very much issues out here with congestion, and that's really the big issue. We can see a long list of alerts. All the alerts over on this side is actually also caused a bit by congestion. Not a lot, but some congestion is happening. But there's also a lot of partial deliveries. If we look particularly at the coal part, for example, this one, this is going back and forth here at a location that doesn't have anything yet, anything anymore. This one is 6. It's not even marked for dead, but if we look at it, there's no materials left. So that's definitely why we've been having issues and we've been scaling up. But now there's a hangover coming, and that hangover is about going back here, retuning these. If we look at science at this point, science there on a 1 hour cycle, you can see that now it can go up to 3K at times, but over time it's not as stable anymore. You can see it went up, and then at least we're reaching like the theoretical, this is after the first stream, we reached the theoretical maximum of 3K science, but we are unable to sustain it consistently. And the reason is, of course, because a lot of these are running out here and there, and therefore cannot sort of keep the flow going. And that's going to be our next objective. First, we're going to clear out the biters, and as we clear the biters, we'll actually get a unique opportunity to expand further out. We're down to 1,259 rockets remaining. When that reaches 0, the series ends, and we're going to start the next series. I'm already doing preparations for the next series, so it's going to be really exciting. And I have some really cool things to planned and in the works for that one. So let's jump forward in time to see what happened at the second stream of the previous week. Here we are. We're now below 1,000 rockets. Lots of rockets have been launched here in the previous session. We're going to start by looking at science. And looking at it on a 1 hour schedule, you can see it's now looking much more stable. If I look on a 10-hour cycle, we're getting much more stable, but we did have one just break here. But if we look at a 1 hour, it's 2.9, so we are getting more stability, but we're not quite there. Also, another thing, that now that we have cleared out the biters, I have just started breaching my own not a wall perimeter and hooking up to more iron locations, because that's kind of how we need it. This one is running out. This is one of those residuals that we've converted into robot mining, and it's just not able to feed these anymore. So I need to start replenishing, get the stuff out. Also, another thing that's super important, you can see now we have new intersections, and look at that. The trains are just running absolutely smoothly through this. So a big shout out to Russ Partisan. Russ Partisan is a patron and a member of the community who have several times before asked politely for just, can I get a copy of your train setup? Because I think there might be some room for optimization. That's such a nice way of saying, you suck at trains, let me fix it for you. So I did my train intersection, and I did them for a specific purpose. I'll show you. So this one is my turn. Can I go up here? Okay. This is my turn, and it superimposes if I want to make a turn into a T intersection. Also like this is also perfectly superimposed. And likewise, even better, this one, the 4-to-4 intersection that you never use. So the design criteria for this one, which is the one I use, isn't actually that it's going to be the best of the best. It's the fact that it is a subset of this one. And I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, it's a really cool idea design-wise, but if we really look at the ones that Russ Partisan designed for us, they are designed specifically for the task at hand, and that task at hand is make it as small as possible. So the brilliant part about this is between this, actually not between that, is it? There's actually not quite enough room here, but that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 intersections. The idea is that between each intersection, they faster go out of the intersection. The intersection is as small as possible, and because it is as small as possible, then the trains get stuck in there shorter time. They block it for the other trains for shorter time. There is one thing we could also do. We could also start cutting out like this, which means that if they go on this side, they have to be on the right path. I'm not gonna do it, but that might be one way that you could make sure that if it goes further on, then it stays here. But if it has to exit here, it has to be on the outer lane. Notice this, between these intersections, there's now room for trains to park, and that means there's just a much better flow. You can see how well they flow through this. Even sometimes they do slow down. Here there's something slowing down, going through. That one's a mistake. That has to be changed to a non-change signal. And what we're seeing now is the trains are flowing so much more smoothly. It has not been fixed over on the other side, which means that you can still see that things are blocking quite a bit here. It's not actually that bad, but sometimes it turns pretty bad at some of these locations. What we're doing, mining productivity, thank you, awesome. What we're also looking at is power. We're up to more than 407,000 solar panels, and as you can see up here, we've just indiscriminately breached our perimeter and just started paving the way, paving upwards, just paving over everything. We're going to tap this one because we need more copper, but I'm not caring about any of these because I don't think we need them. And we're just now being able to really expand out our solar panel in all directions. And that's another thing, because we might be brushed for time. We also, since the base is fully operational, we had to cut it down here to now 0.8 speed. It's still okay to run it at 0.8 speed, but yeah, it's not ideal. And over here on the science facilities, this is one of the places where we do have a bit of an issue. You can see here that when there's only 2 of these available, then, and this could be fixed a bit, but you can see this one, even though it has 8,000, then all those 8,000 are stuck in one location. That means it's not going to be full here, even though it could easily support a full lane. This is exactly the same here. We have 7,700 and still only one inserter servicing it. So that's one of the things we want to fix and get a new design. It's a design developed by GFS. I love the fact that, and this is one of the cool things about streaming compared to playing here on YouTube, is that we notice a problem, and then I might be distracted by some other urgent need, and then someone will from the community go like, I've come up with a new suggestion. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't like it. And if I like it, for example, the intersections here by Ross Partisan, I implement it, and we can now all see that it gets better. And same with the GFS designs. It's so cool. I really love that. And this is why, I think that if you're watching mainly on YouTube, then if you have the time, come on over to Twitch, because then we can do the more back and forth than what we could do in the comment section. Let's jump forward in time to get us all updated on the current state of affairs in the base and how it has evolved at the current state. So this is where we are right now at the end of the stream. We're going to start by looking at the rockets. We're down below 500. That means all things being equal, I might be able to just have a single stream left. I should be able to launch 500 rockets in 1 hour, in 4 hour stream. And if I do that, well, actually I should be able to launch 700, I think. If I do that, then that's going to be the last of the streams, and otherwise we'll continue to scale up and move forward. But the plan is for my next Twitch series to start on Sunday, depending of course on when you're watching this, but that's going to be Sunday the 15th of November. That's so do check that out, because that's always nice to be part of the first episode, just to figure out what the hell's going on. There's going to be a new mod pack, a new Twitch interaction. It's going to be really cool, I think. So let's not jump ahead. Well, let's look at this one. We're just going to take a look at science at this point. Science, there we go. We could see just a few judders and twitches here, but overall, if you look, this is 3 hours back. No, this is almost 4 hours back. This is 4 hours ago. Then it's pretty stable. There's been some jittery here, but the average over 10 hours is 2.8. The average over 1 hour is 3. And if we look at our intersections, because that's where the majority of the work has been happening, you can see there's a new intersection created by GFS. The idea here is that the trains will be unloading more evenly in these two locations and going in here. Now, the There will be less storage at the facility, which isn't really going to be a problem, to be honest. It is what it is, but you can see trains are waiting. This one just came in now, waiting, and well, not this one, but it would be nice if someone was coming in just, oh man, it would be nice if something just came in just as we were looking at it, and it absolutely does. Look at that, it's beautiful. So as you can see, it's not only is it running at 3K signs, it's also running incredibly stable at 3K signs, because if we look at this, we have 5,600 in 9,600, so we actually have at 20,000 of each in here by the time the next train comes in and starts unloading. So I'm very happy with this. It looks like we have a slight overproduction of signs, which is also what I've designed it towards. I designed all of it to be slightly overproducing what it needs to, and if you multiply that up by 15, and if everything is working, then you are actually going up there. Now at the end of the stream, you can actually see here that this one is now saying 4 is slow, but at the end of the stream we had no open warnings, considering just a few streams ago we had no warnings, nothing was running out, nothing was running slow. Now at this point it says 4 is running slow, but the reason why number 4 is running slow is because it is stuck in a queue out here. This is number 4, no, this is number 4, yeah, it's right here. This is the train. Because the train is out here, it's not back at the loading facility. And because it's not back at the loading facility, we've now accrued, how much is that? That's, can I not see that? Yeah, 20,000 space science packs, plus in each of these had 10,000. So I have 80,000 science packs in this one rating. And I think that's a pretty fair excuse why we want this one to just hold off a bit. We have 80,000 space science packs in buffer. We don't need to build that buffer any further. And that means that when the train comes back, it'll be immediately loaded, sent out, and go back to reaching a steady state, which is brilliant. This is what I also wanted, to make sure that it's reaching a steady state at all times. Now this base could be scaled up if needed. I think that it's performance-wise it works. I don't think that the train system can bear much more than this. The smaller trains are really beneficial, so you don't have a giant base and not too long travel distances. And you can also you can actually zoom out. This is the maximum zoom out. You can actually do the maximum zoom out and you can see everything. But it makes intersections easier, and they can be really close together when you have small trains. But how many trains do we have? Get trains, 272 trains, and that's too much. That's simply too much to run through it. If we look at our updates, then Train Pathfinder, it is taking 1.1, 1.2 here. The game updates also something. So it's too much. So we're at the end of the base. You can see the massive solar panels. Let's actually look at the total solar panels, 463. I'd really like to get to 500,000 solar panels. That seems like a good number. 500,000 solar panels would be a nice sort of benchmark to have in a base such as this. The reason why you can see biters out here is simply just we've not updated the radar scan, so it's just in the fog of war. But we're still getting nests in if new subscribers or join, or if gift subs, or if resubs, then we still get new biters and they'll still attack us. Now we just don't have a wall, don't have another wall anymore. So join me for the last streams. The last stream will actually be this week, and then make sure that you make a big cross out in your calendar on Sunday the 15th of November at 8 p.m. Central European Time. Head on over to twitch.tv/Nilaus to watch the start of a new amazing series that I'm sure is going to run at least until Christmas, and probably even more, because it's going to be a big series and with awesome designs and new mods created by the usual mod team, Timbo, Vichu, and Jeff. So that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also really happy with how we did this. I decided to make it, had a design in mind, and we built it up to 3K science, which is what I wanted to get. And then, now it's just running stable, more or less. There are a few tweaks and turns here, but that should be good. Anyway, I hope to see you either here on YouTube, over on Twitch, or maybe on the Discord server. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you for supporting. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and stay effective.